I come from a very conservative Hindu Punjabi family, and I came out to them 3 years ago. I got caught at 18. I keep on getting caught with girls, and I always lie to them, you know. They're very strict, they're very hard, sometimes abusive. Every time I would get caught, they would threaten to take me out of college, or hit me. So I stayed in the closet. I came out to all my friends, but I never came out to my parents. And then I fell in love 3 years ago, and I was like, you know, it's time. I kind of got caught again, but this time I was like, I'm going to tell them the truth. And I told them the truth, and they cut me off completely. I grew up really privileged, you know, I'm a little spoiled, and I'm very dependent on my family. And I never had that streak in me, oh, I need to be independent. I always thought my parents would be around, you know, they'd help me and everything would be fine, but I came out to them and they cut me off. And I already was drinking a lot, but after they cut me off, I started drinking more, and I became an alcoholic. I was born and raised here, and you'd think that they would be a little bit more open-minded, but they're not. You know, they moved from Delhi, and they're still stuck in that frame of mind, in that mentality where it's like a sin. It's like a pop, or you don't talk about it, or you're going to hell, or it's like. And but it's shocking because they've been here. They watch TV, they read the papers, you know, they like Ellen. I mean, I don't understand. They're stuck. They said really horrible things like, you know, you're not our daughter, how could you do this to me? Same shit, you know.
You need to shed these things. And you're hearing, 10 years later, it's hard to remember the pain. And it's hard to still be sad about the pain. And eventually you will get to laugh about it too.
I hope so.
But I think to a degree it feels like our stories were all really fun and lovely. They weren't. I'm sure they were not.
I never come to the center for any other reason but to come and visit Salga's support, and that's the only time I'm here. You know, the challenging thing is I feel very safe here, but at the same time I'm not safe in terms of me being scared, still being out. In 2000, I decided I need to find a group that I feel I can belong to. I've always, in a general sense, say I belong to a queer community, but I never felt part of anything. I never felt I'm queer and I'm here and I'm going to make a change or a difference. Never had a support niche that understands what I'm going through as an Indian woman, culturally, religiously. This room where we are is where everything started for me in terms of finding my family to help me get through all the struggles that I'm having to face. So that's why I think I'm at peace here doing this interview. The support that Salga has given me is just wonderful. You know, between the socializing and events, the support groups that we have, and all the activism that goes on, it makes me finally be part of a group.
My brother and I took care of each other so much as children, but at the same time, he still doesn't know who I am. So one night, I just called him in a fit, crying. I don't even remember what I was saying. I just said, promise me you'll be the brother that I need, and that you'll protect me, and that you'll love me no matter what. And then I told him I got my heart broken. And he kept saying, well, who's this guy? I'm gonna beat him up. And at that moment, it was just, it happened. That flow of emotion happened, and it was like the volcano erupted, and I said, I need to let him know. And it wasn't about me coming out necessarily. It was about telling him I got my heart broken and I needed a big brother to comfort me. And I told him everything. And I said, my entire life, I had to lead a double life, and I can't help my brother constantly worry about me. And you need to know who I am, and I want my nephew to know who I am. And I expected him to hang up the phone. And he didn't hang up the phone. He just said, thank you. I am so proud of you. This must have been so rough, and I'm really sorry that you had to live your entire life in secrecy, and I wish you told me the day you knew. I could have been there for you. And he says, I'm not surprised. And then we joked about it, and he says, I've always known, you used to beat me up as a kid. I've always known you were the one who always used to go out and play soccer and basketball with the girls. He's like, I just wish you told me earlier.
Oh, my gay box is years and years and years of special moments in my life. And it could be tickets to a gay show, going to P-Town, photos of me being free during Pride. Anything that has any relation or visual appearance or any indication that I'm gay, it's all hidden in this box. And the reason being is because, you know, I don't want to forget. So I have this box, and once in a while, if I visit my parents for the weekend and I come back depressed because I know they're upset or they want something more, I'll open up this box and I'll say, oh, remember 15 years ago you did this? When they ask me, will be the moment I come out of the closet to my parents. But right now, I can't. I don't think they understand it. I don't think they understand what it is. They think it's a cultural influence, that you're not born with it. They think that it's wrong. And they think that it's just something that you kind of have this black spirit and the planets are misaligned. If you're a mom or dad, you have questions about your children, you know, don't let your kids end up turning out like me, 35 years old, still missing the fact that my parents don't know really who I am.
After I'm tired of the Indian community here, I've noticed that I do go to Salga meetings. Mostly, I think, to find people who are queer and out and not, I don't know, parochial and conservative. Salga has been doing at least one monthly activity. They've been having more parties that are not really loud club chalet type parties, but more sort of intimate parties, you know, and they seem to have more movie screenings, and the community seems to have definitely been more rejuvenated in the last maybe 6 or 7 months.
I'm hoping one day there's a balance between the two, between the support and the parties. But the parties have always been a part of my life. I don't know how to be South Asian, queer and social without these organizations and these parties. The parties are fun and exciting and so liberating. When the minute you walk in through that door, you feel like you're so free, like you've been in prison, you know, all month, and you're waiting for that monthly party to come just so you could be around Indians and South Asians, and just so you could be free and party and look at two men dancing and kissing, and you find that so beautiful. And it's even more beautiful when you find out that they're both South Asian and they're in love. And seeing that happiness and being surrounded by just people who are free and comfortable with themselves.
We've seen the crowd evolve. We have a whole new generation of young queer South Asians who are very different from when I first moved here. They're very much more open, more out, very aware of their self and who they are, and that's great to see. And they come to our parties and enjoy the space that we've created. I think this is a soundtrack to someone else's life as well that I'm creating.